Today we are going to be diving into 5 things Netflix got wrong about Ted Bundy, an extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. Subscribe to the channel for new videos on serial killers every week. Fiction 1. The real Elizabeth Kendall had found clues before Ted Bundy was arrested. There was a series of unsolved kidnappings in Washington state in 1974. When Kendall first saw in the Seattle Times a police composite of the suspect who was named Ted, she noticed he looked like her boyfriend, and they both drove a Volkswagen. When it was described in news reports that the suspect used a crutch to knock out a victim, Kendall recalled seeing crutches in Bundy's home. Those clues inspired her to make her first call to the police in 1974. She explains in her memoir, "While she was on the phone, she lost her nerve and hung up." 1 month later, when the abductions began happening in Utah as soon as Bundy moved to Salt Lake City, Kendall called the cops again. The police said they had already cleared Bundy, but Kendall continued to think back on clues which pointed to Bundy's involvement, from the crowbar he took from her house, to a hatchet under the passenger seat of his car, to plaster of Paris she once found in Bundy's desk drawer, which would explain the suspect's arm cast. But in the movie, Kendall believes Bundy when he insists he has nothing to do with the crimes being committed until the very end of the film. Fiction 2. The significance of the French prison escape novel Papier. In the movie, Bundy is constantly telling Kendall to read the book Papier. The novel by Henry Cherrier details a man's incarceration for murder and his obsession with escaping, which gives Ted hope that he will eventually get out of prison. When Kendall comes to visit him after his first escape from an Aspen courthouse, Bundy gives her a copy of Papier as a gift, saying he's read it 4 times. As symbolic as the book is, Kendall makes no mention of Papier in her memoir. Fiction 3. The scene with the hacksaw at the end of the movie. At the end of the movie, Kendall visits Bundy as he awaits his execution. After being sentenced to death row in 1979, she brings a photo to the prison of a victim with her head cut off, demanding, "You need to release me, Ted. Tell me what happened to her head." At first Bundy says he doesn't know, and suggests that animals attacked the victim. But finally, in an incredibly powerful scene, Bundy breathes on the glass separating them and writes with his finger the word, hacksaw. In the book, however, Bundy hints at his guilt in a final phone conversation with Kendall, saying, "There is something the matter with me. I just couldn't contain it. I found it for a long, long time. It was just too strong." But he never directly admitted to the murders to Kendall. Fiction 4. Bundy tried to kill Kendall. Another significant moment happens in Kendall and Bundy's final phone call, which was cut from the film. After Bundy hints at his guilt during that conversation, Kendall asks if he ever tried to kill her. Bundy admits that he once closed the damper at Kendall's house while she was sleeping so the smoke couldn't go up the chimney. Then he left after putting a towel under a door so the smoke wouldn't escape. Kendall writes that she remembers waking up coughing after a night of drinking. Fiction 5. The dog barking at Bundy. Instead of Kendall noticing clues, the filmmakers made the warning signs a little more subtle. When Bundy and Kendall go dog shopping, for example, the dog begins barking viciously at Bundy, which the couple later jokes about. In real life, there were no warnings from pets. "To me, it's about animals, no," Berlinger says. When the dog did not get along with Bundy, that's a clue, but it's not like finding a knife. I did my own interpretation of having some clues along the way. If there was something we missed, let us know in the comments. If you are interested in making videos like this, check the links in the description.